And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Open Studio. No fancy intro this evening because we are live today. Yeah, it's been crazy, and I didn't get a chance to pre-record this, so we are just going to do it live. So if you're here and you're in the live chat, I'm not going to be able to really respond to you, unfortunately, because I've got it set up for Open Studio and not like the live stream. So I can kind of look over, but I really want to kind of concentrate since we only have a half an hour. One of the quick things I wanted to show you, though, because I had taken a photograph of the painting for the ad for this is the magnet that I've been using. I might switch to this camera. Yeah. This needs to be replaced now, but people have asked me about this, and this is just the sheet magnet that sign painters use for those magnetic signs on the side of cars. I get the scraps from them, and this one I've used a lot, and it's starting to fall apart. And but this is the stuff, and all I do is put a big loop of tape on it like that, and then I can put the painting right on there. So I'll show you this too. This is obviously the Tokyo painting, and it's on a piece of 063 aluminum. And it's pink on the side because this is the side that has a little covering on it. So this is the side that you're actually supposed to, use for the sign. Again, it's a sign industry thing. Use this for sign stuff. It's powder coated white. So I paint on the other side, and then I keep this side nice and clean because whatever. So that's what it looks like. An 063 looks about, let's see if I can focus on that. There it is. So that's 063, which is, and forgive me for not knowing my fractional math, but it's about a, 16th of an inch. Try that again. There we go. About a 16th of an inch thick. So that's what this panel is painted on. So there you go. You don't get to see that usually because the painting is usually on the magnet. All right. So we are going to do the road. That's where we left off last week. I realized at the end I needed to airbrush it, do a little bit of airbrushing on that road. So that's what we're going to do. How about that? And I will. I'm looking over now, so I will. I'll turn that on because we need palettes cam. But I'll say hi to everyone. Kyle, Dan, Swamp, what's up? Yeah, thank you. The wedding was amazing. Hello, Todd and Maria. What's up? Yay. Bobby, what's going on? Love to see your videos, Bobby. Okay, so yeah, last week we left off. I was working on the banks of the river, and I realized that I needed to airbrush the road here because it does a few things. Now, unfortunately, because we're doing this live, I can't give you the reference photo. But I also noticed something else in the reference photo that I want to take care of before we even get to the road. Let me pull out one of these copies, and I'll show you what that is. I don't know that I have a good enough copy. I have to just cut a new one. That's okay. How are y'all doing? You doing good? Still wiped out from the trip. It was a really long trip, but it was amazing. We had a great time. For those watching this in context, I have just gotten back from my daughter's wedding, which was amazing. My daughter married a great guy named Michael, and yeah, they're doing great. All right, so here's a reference photo. This is one of the things I wanted to mention that I didn't catch while we were working on the water last week, but I caught it after, and this happens a lot. So atmospheric perspective is something that's real, and we're going to deal with the whole painting at the end, meaning atmospheric perspective is when there's more atmosphere. It's not like the regular perspective where things get smaller in the distance. Atmospheric perspective means that things that are far away have more atmosphere in between you and it, like sky, like atmosphere, mist, and that kind of stuff. This painting is no exception. The things down the bottom, the things that are closest to us, are really clear and sharp. But as we get up towards the top, they kind of take on this hazy mist, right? So I'm going to do that with this painting, but I'm going to do it at the end of the painting because it's easier with the airbrush. But one of the things that happens as well is the river is dark, a little bit darker in the front, and then lightens up as it gets to the top. So I didn't do that here. So we're going to do that tonight before we move on. That's something that happens with the road as well, which is why I'm going to airbrush it. It starts off dark and it ends up a little bit lighter as we go. So we're going to do that. So we're going to start with the river because it's a little bit easier. to hit that. And all I'm going to do is really just kind of darken this area and give this a little bit of hit of white. It's pretty simple. While I'm mixing paint, I guess I can kind of lean over and look at comments. If you're commenting after the fact, well, obviously I'm not going to be able to say hi to the people, but I will if you type a comment in after we're done. I will definitely respond to your comments. Dan, what's up? Yay. Excellent. You guys are great. Thanks for jumping in. Okay, so what I've got is just a really, really reduced black in the brush. And I'm just going to kind of really lightly, well, there we go. Really lightly just kind of run over like the first, I don't know, say ½ inch of the river here. What I want to do too, I talked about this last week, that opaque brown, black has a lot of brown in it. So I'm going to add a little bit of blue to this because as I'm spraying this really lightly, I can see that brownish. This is daylight blue up here, so it'll work great. So I'll just kind of add that in to the mix. Yeah, it's perfect. It makes kind of a slate blue. Okay. So you'll also notice if you're here live tonight, there was no time lapse yesterday because again, I was traveling and it was crazy, but I have the time lapse pretty much ready to go, and I gotta get that posted. So we'll get back on everything. All right, so now I get this nice slate blue, which is great. And you might not have seen the brown in that original black, but I caught it before I went too far with it. So I'm just going to kind of, again, I'm just going over that front part of it, just to darken it up just a little bit. That's good right there. I don't want to go too crazy with that. Same thing with the top area up here. That needs to be a little bit lighter. So we're going to grab some white, just straight up white. I don't have to worry about any kind of blue shift or anything. It's pretty easy stuff. Ooh, I also haven't airbrushed or used any of the brushes in a few days because I've been away. So all these brushes are like, okay, we're not going to work for you. So I guess that's a thing for those people who maybe don't airbrush. They're airbrushing, but they're not airbrushing every day. It's more of a fight with your equipment if you don't use it every day. And that's true with everything, you know, any kind of mechanical thing. If you use it every day, it tends to keep running. But if you stop using it, it tends to want to crap out on you. So airbrushes are certainly no exception to that rule. All right, let's see if I can get this to... Oh, might need spa day on these. Okay, so this is my other Iwata, but this one is spraying by itself, but I think I might be able to get away with it. Yeah, it kind of hit that too hard right there, but basically it did what it needed to do. Definitely gonna have to clean that one out. All right then, no problem. What could go wrong? All right, so the road. We're ready for the road. Last week I talked briefly about what to do with this thing. I'm going to slide the reference photo over so you can see it. You won't be able to see all of it because I'm zoomed in. Will you be able to see any of it? There we go. This is super dark. Sorry about that, but you're looking at the photograph. But there's a road, and if I zoom in like that, you can really get a good view of it. It's obviously 2 lanes, white on each side, and then the dividing line in the middle. So I got to figure out how to paint that. Now, you guys can't see it, but there's actually a dotted line in between the darker areas too. So it's pretty subtle, so I don't know if I have to really mess with it. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to paint the road, the dark gray part of it, since there's more of that, and I'll just paint in these white lines. Again, I talked about it last week. The other way to do that is to paint it all in white and then paint the darker areas of the road. But that would be harder on this image because, again, it's darker down the bottom here than it is up the top. So, all right. Oh, actually, that's my daughter right there. That's Emmy. I'm doing a painting of, well, I was working on a painting of that. Yeah, so there you go. You get it all. A little bit of everything. All right, so let me, first we have to cut out a stencil for the road because it is long, and again, it starts out dark down the bottom and it ends up light. So this is a perfect opportunity to airbrush. Do I want to? Yeah, I do. I'm try to cut out just the middle, so that way I really only have to paint the middle line. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. Okay, good. And obviously there's no editing Steve tonight because editing Steve is painting. So if there are any buildings that need to be identified, we'll have to wait till next week. All right. Try to get this other side here. If I don't, like, I'm trying not to cut out the edge lines, the white edge lines on either side. I'm going to have to paint them in anyway, so I'm not overly worried if, I can't really pull that off. But I'll try. So there's that part of it. And then the upper part. Now the road on the other side, it looks more like I don't know, if it's a walkway or what. No, it's probably a road too, but it's much harder to see. It's much smaller, so I'm not really going to worry about it. And I'm definitely using the reference photo here because it's getting tough to see what's going on, especially up here near the top. All right, so what else is going on? Oh, so I have some news, which is fun, and it's timely, even though you guys, like I said, oh, that might have been too high on that one, but we'll figure it out. So that I entered a painting into the Butler American Institute of Art area artist show, which they have a show for anyone within 75 miles of the museum. There we go. Get you guys right where you need to be. If you're within 75 miles of the museum, you can enter the show, and then it's juried. It's juried by a great artist named Niels Johnson. So I got a painting in the show, which is amazing. And I've talked about this a lot with getting into shows and stuff like that. When you get in, it's amazing and it's great and it's awesome and you feel real good. If you don't get in, you just got to kind of roll with it because, again, I entered Ashtabula and I didn't get into Ashtabula. I made it by the first round, but I didn't make it by the second round, and that's tough. So the area artist show had there were 700 entries, 700 images that the judge Niels had to go through. And he only picked 100 of them to be in the show. So that's really great. I was super fortunate to get in, and I'm super happy. And, it's just one of those things. My painting connected with Niels and got in the show. It's one of the paintings that, actually, it's the same painting that almost got into Ashtabula. So that's a good sign. It means that painting is, is making people look, So that's good. All right. What do we got? Oh, thanks. Hey, what's up? What is up, Western? I do have to connect with you. We got to work on getting that lock. I know you're working on some special stuff for me. Hopefully you can, you're going to have a sponsor for that. But regardless or irregardless or super regardless, whatever. We got to get that. I'm looking forward to that. And I still haven't been able to really work with the locks you sent. I like I said, I accidentally opened one. But yeah, the beginning part is the hardest. All right, so that's in place. Again, it goes dark to light. So what I think I'm going to do is this time I'm going to start with the white since this brush isn't working real great. Although the white here, the light part here is pretty much what's visible. I'm just going to kind of give that a little bit extra brightness so it all works well. And I have the black still in here. It's on the way to me currently. Awesome. Okay, good. I've got a bunch of cool projects that I'm going to be working on. This is black again. The Western lock picking one, it will be a lot of fun. I have a hockey mask, a goalie mask, which is going to be fun. That I don't do that kind of stuff normally, but this one's for my cousin, and he wants a bunch of crazy stuff on it. So I think I'm gonna, well, if I can work it out with him, I'm gonna do that as well. What else? What else is going on? I do have a bunch of paintings. This one of them that I need to finish. And then, yeah, so everything's going good. All right, so we're going to check that out. I think that's going to be good. I think I got dark enough on that. Yeah, it's not quite lined up on the top, but I'm okay with that too. Is that dark enough? It's definitely dark enough up here. I'm not worried about that. Down here, it's not quite dark enough. So I'm going to cut my losses here and move this over a little bit too to kind of make up for the misalignment there a little bit. So that'll be good. Yeah, and I got the dollar bill painting I have to finish. What else? What else? Oh, the airbrush holder for spray gunner is done. Very happy about that. So that is currently being professionally photographed. And then I'm going to send that over to Spray Gunner. And yeah, they're going to give that away, which is going to be fun. There we go. That's good. So again, if it's a timely thing, if you're watching it in replay, that whole thing might not be available, but hopefully it is. Hopefully you're watching this close to when I did it. All right, that's wonderful. Good. Good. All right, so grab another copy here. Let's see what I'm doing. I gotta really keep an eye on the time because without editing Steve here, it's super easy for me to just blow over the half an hour when we really want to keep it there. So I'm just gonna grab a copy for me so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's just really super thin lines on either side, and like a sign or something. You guys still got, yeah, palette cam. I don't know how this paint is. It's probably bogus because it's now a few days old, but we'll give it a try, see what happens. So the big super mystery painting that I was working on as well, that was for my daughter and her husband. So that is all done now too and delivered. So I'll show that on Monday Night Live. I don't have a photograph of that ready to go for you guys, so sorry about that. Editing Steve would probably have put that in. But no such luck this time. Literally just kind of, I'm still unpacking. It was a whirlwind. Oh, this was such the right way to do this. Excellent. But I am going to need more, better paint here. The drop that I'm using over here, all this paint is pretty much junk right now. It just took on, since I haven't used it in a while, a few days, it's taken on too much water, from the wet palette. So it's just funky. It's just weird. It's not good. All right. There we go. Oh, much better. Lovely. Lovely. You guys are in a good spot, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's just start on the edge. That is stunning. So I think the next landscape painting, so these landscape paintings are something that I'll be doing a lot of, because I'd love to have a show with them all, just the landscapes, these crazy, intense landscapes, like this one in New York. I can't do New York because that one's sold. But Boston and some of the other ones I have, Cincinnati and everything. I want to have a show with all those. And so the next one I'm going to do, I think the next one I was going to do was Los Angeles, which is similarly insane as this one. But I think I'm going to take a break. I'm going to, there's one of Newport, Rhode Island that I want to do. And it's a little bit more simple, but still the same size. And it'll be a really nice painting, but it just won't be as like insane as this one. So I think that might be the next one I'll do. All right, so while I'm here, just off to this side, there's some sort of sign, road sign, and then there's some not traffic lights, but road lights, and then there's some cars on this road too. So we'll start. I think what I'll do is I'll just kind of creep along this road and put everything in as I go, instead of trying to do like, this whole side all the way up. I'll just go for, a little bit and then just fill in the details. Why? There is no reason why. It just kind of happens that way. It's just what you feel, Painting in happy little roads. Again, Editing Steve probably would have told you what this road was. Maybe next week I'll throw it in there because I will be back to editing stuff. Or if you're good on Google Maps or whatever, you can probably find it out for me, but don't feel like you have to. It's fine. Everything's fine. Look at that. So welcome, Mr. Scott. Scott is currently at SEMA, and somehow they let Rod Fuchs in. I don't know how that happens. So the people he is referring to is Rod Fuchs, who's not a great artist, but they kind of let him in there, I think, because they feel bad for him. Luca Pagan, who is an amazing artist, and Dennis Mathewson, who is another amazing artist. So you guys are the best. Dennis, if you're listening, I was just lamenting to Marge here that I saw you were at SEMA, and you are one of the artists that I still have my bucket list of people to meet. Luca, you are on that list as well. So I would love. Luca does the most amazing realistic floral paintings, although Luca can paint anything as well. Again, Rod is just there because they needed someone to split the cost of the room, so they invited Rod. But yeah. I've met him, and it was underwhelming to say the least. So, see, all I did was had to talk about Rod, and I screw up the painting. Oh well. All right, Rod, stop listening for a second. For everyone else, Rod's an insane artist. I hate him with a burning passion of 1,000 suns because he is so good. If you haven't had a chance to check out Mr. Fuchs' work, please do. It's Fuchs. And yeah, he is something else. All right, Rod, you can start listening again. He's a toad, and he is vastly overrated. And yeah, sooner or later he'll get the idea that no one likes him. So, all right. So in that time, I was able to fix this, despite the Roderick thing. You're on the bus heading back to the hotel. That's awesome. For anyone who doesn't know, who's not into the custom automotive thing, the SEMA show is one of the largest automotive shows. It's actually an aftermarket type show. But a lot of the custom paint, a lot of the painters go to it. A lot of the big paint companies have booths there. All the airbrush companies go there because, again, it's a customizing type thing. So what they will do is, Iwata is there, Createx has been there. You will notice Brian Dunbar isn't around because he is at SEMA with Grex. So lots and lots of companies go, and they basically show off all their cool stuff. So with the airbrush companies, it's very, very cool because they bring a bunch of these great artists in, and they paint. They go to the booth and they paint. So You can see that on Iwata's social medias. You can see that on Createx's as well. Just an amazing group of people. So, with the exception of Rod, of course. You know, Rod is, you know, not in that list, but it's fine. Like I said, they probably need someone to, I don't know, pick up the tab or something. All right, as this road gets out here, it spreads way out and it splits off, and there's a bunch of cars, which I'm ignoring. So we'll do that. Get those cars in here. And the cars and trucks seem to all be white. So that's a bonus. Not really, though, because it's fun when they're different colors. You know, you kind of drop them in, but maybe it's because it's gray and it was early or something, but it's all trucks and stuff. So just drop a few of those in. This road splits here. And it splits down here too. What are we looking on time, kids? 4 minutes. All right. Now, not only do the cars have the white on the top, I should probably zoom in on this. All right, you guys are gonna go for a ride here. Sorry. Normally, again, editing Steve would have taken care of all this, but not today. Last year, when there was rumors of me going to SEMA, my daughter had planned on getting married, and then my son was getting married the end of the month. So there was no hope for that. And then this year, I knew my daughter was getting married because she ended up pushing off her wedding till this year. So I knew there was no way. Last year, Steve Chizeka went, who's a great airbrusher, pinstriper. I will get there at some point. I've never been. Yeah, just got to have the timing work out. So what I'm doing is I brought you guys in really close because I'm just taking a little bit of black. Actually, give me a second. Again, editing Steve probably would have been able to do this before, but can't. Light this way up. You guys are super light. So what I'm doing now in these last few minutes is I'm putting the shadow on these little trucks and cars. So it's just the back side of these and kind of the bottom. I'm using a little bit of black on them, and that will, you know, kind of ground them a little bit. That's not bad. Oh, and I just screwed up that bit of the road. That's all right. But you get the idea, right? And that's good. Now, so you know what this normally would have been when I'm trying to paint these super thin lines between, like up here. Let's do a little bit of this. Right here where I screwed up that line, it needs to be corrected a little bit. It's a little bit too chunky. So a lot of times with these super crazy thin lines, that's what's going on. It's a little bit of back and forth. So I've put the road in. That's not dark enough. But maybe I tried to put the line in and it didn't really work out as well as I thought it was going to work out. So I can go back in with the gray now and just kind of shave that down a little bit, you know, and make that white middle line much smaller in the way it should be. If I, you know, drop a truck in there or a car and it, you know, didn't work out well, I could just kind of go in there and fix that as well. But you get the idea. Fuchs, sorry. So that is Mr. Fuchs. So he retracted his comment. I love that. All right. So we are just about there. We are at the half hour mark. There he is. Sweaty dudes in the costume. He's awesome. All right. All right. So guys, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna back this out again. Unfortunately, you got to go for the ride. So no, you don't. I'll do that. Let me back this way out so you can see it. I'll show you the whole thing. Oh, I gotta change that because that's obnoxiously bright. Here we go. My phone's going nuts. I feel bad about that I didn't turn it off, but you get the idea. All right. Move that, and I'll show you where we're at. Is that ready? Hopefully. Yeah, kind of. Is that focused? Of course it's not focused. There we go. Hocus pocus. So now from back here, you can see that, the little bit of extra darkness here gives that, that river the kind of dimension that it needed. And again, there's the road we worked on. It's super tiny and obnoxious and whatever. All right, I promise I will have my poop together next week, and it'll be recorded. You'll get all the cool edits and all that fun stuff next week. We'll still be working on the road, so I'll get you the name of that road too. And that's what we got. So what can I say but thank you? Again, I don't have the little icons here, but please hit that like and subscribe and support the channel. That'll be amazing. If you get a chance, go find all these people who are jumping on. Rod, Dennis, Luca, Bobby, Raffin Customs, Western Massacre Lock Sport. Go support all their channels too. A lot of great content, and it's all over the road, so you'll never be bored with any of that. All right, and again, I would love to show the end screen with the sponsors, the people who have joined the channel, but I will get that on the next one. You guys are amazing. So guys out in SEMA, you guys be safe. Have a great time. To everyone else, you guys are the best. You know I love you, and I will catch you all next week. Have a great night.